Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And we're back to jacket weather. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s as you head out the door. I'll let you know how comfortable it will feel through the afternoon.
And government still shut down. Day 2 of the shutdown with big impacts on workers and families. What's next if lawmakers don't act soon? And budget crisis. Millions must be cut in Rocky Mount, and the state is stepping in. The plan to keep the city afloat. Plus, campus safety. UNC rolling out new measures after recent threats. How the school hopes to better protect its students. We have all of that coming up on your Thursday morning. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Michelle McConaughey on your October 2nd. Certainly starting to feel like fall out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. You need the light jacket this morning.
I definitely did. I was very happy to have a jacket on. We take a live look at North Hills. Skies are clear this morning. It's beautiful out there. A little moon. I think the moon's finally set, but it was out last night. It was just gorgeous. 51 is our temperature. Our dew point is sitting at 50, so it feels great out there and much cooler than it was yesterday. Right now it's 48 in Roxborough, 52 in Rocky Mount, 55 in Southern Pines and in Clinton. And our temperature change is definitely noticeable, anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. The afternoon highs will be similar. We'll see low 70s, but a lot of sunshine today. We really struggled to get out of the clouds yesterday until fairly late in the day, and it won't be quite as breezy. We'll take a look at the weekend. Lots going on. I'll show you how it warms up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. A crash shut down a couple of lanes on I-40 near Chapel Hill Road overnight. There were 4 vehicles involved in this. No reports of any serious injuries. The lanes are all now back open. The federal government is now in day 2 of a shutdown. Senators left Capitol Hill yesterday without a deal and aren't expected back until Friday. It is the first shutdown since 2018 with no end in sight. Federal workers are either being furloughed or forced to work without pay. Food programs could run out of money as early as next week. The White House warns mass layoffs could follow. And states across the country are scrambling to keep their national parks or monuments open following the federal government shutdown. A contingency plan released says some parks will stay partially open during the shutdown with reduced staffing and services. For example, Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona will remain open with some visitor services reduced. The Lincoln Memorial and Thomas Jefferson Memorial will still be fully accessible, and 8 of Colorado's parks that collect fees will remain open until fee revenue runs out. And the closure comes as the Blue Ridge Parkway and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park are about to see their busiest season. Nonprofit groups supporting the parks used social media to share specific information. The Blue Ridge Parkway Road itself will be open, except in areas where it was already closed for Helene repairs. And friends of the Great Smoky Mountains posted these specific campgrounds, the access points, and picnic areas that will be closed. Restrooms and visitor centers will be closed in both parks. Happening today, the city of Rocky Mount hosting public meetings as it faces a budget crisis. The city is being forced to cut millions of dollars from its budget in less than a year. WRAL's Monica Casey is live at the state auditor's office in Raleigh this morning. And Monica, people from the agency are stepping in to help navigate this problem.
That's right. Tonight will be one of multiple meetings that are open to the public this week as the city works to solve that budget crisis. Leaders also met earlier this week to discuss the issue. We know all departments with the city will have some reductions, including cutting about a dozen jobs from police and fire departments. A spokesperson for the city said those layoffs could start with vacancies that won't be filled, non-sworn positions, or civilian staff. All this came out last week when a financial review showed the city of Rocky Mount spent millions more than it brought in on a monthly basis for more than 2 years, with its savings fund dropping from $100 million to just $20 million. Now, that review attracted the attention of the state auditor, who sent the deputy state auditor to that city to help them learn how they can make cuts and get out of this financial crisis. Tonight's meeting starts at 6:30. Live in Raleigh, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Hurricanes Imelda and Umberto never made landfall, but the Outer Banks are still feeling it. 7 homes have fallen into the ocean in just the last few days. Here's a look at new photos of the damage left behind. Dare County leaders surveyed the damage yesterday. The houses were empty, no one was hurt. 18 homes on Hatteras Island have collapsed since 2020. And this morning, UNC preparing students for emergencies nearly 2 weeks after false threats of a gunman at UNC Wilmington sent the campus into lockdown for hours. WRAL's Ali Calabar joins us live from UNC Chapel Hill this morning. And Ali, this is one of several efforts the university is doing to keep their students safe.
Now, the event today, Michelle, was already on the schedule for this semester, but after incidents on college campuses so far this year, the university is pressing for extra safety precautions. You might remember 2 weeks ago, UNC Chapel Hill increased its police presence on campus. It was an effort to ramp up security after the false threat on UNCW's campus. Today, students will learn what to do in a variety of emergencies. So it'll have hands-on demos for fires, anything from fires to campus safety. We spoke with students after the university increased their presence on campus. They tell us these resources help them feel safer.
It's been a little uneasy, but we have a lot of things in place like Alert Carolina that's made us feel, I feel like, a lot safer about the possibility of things happening on campus and just having like resources here for us to talk about those things.
Students will be able to talk about those resources and learn more about them today. That event is from 11 to 2 p.m. at the pit. Reporting live at UNC Chapel Hill, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
A candlelight vigil is planned for this weekend to honor the victims of the Southport shooting. The 3 people who died in the shooting were identified by police as Solomon Banho from Charlottesville, Virginia, Michael Durbin from Galena, Ohio, and Joy Rogers from Southport. Family members said Rogers had recently relocated to North Carolina for retirement. 5 other people were hurt in that shooting. The suspect, Nigel Edge, is in jail awaiting his next court appearance. And we are getting a look at the defense strategy for the teen suspected accused of killing 5 people in Raleigh's Headingham neighborhood nearly 3 years ago. A short motion filed with the court shows Austin Thompson's lawyers will argue his actions were impacted by a prescription drug. A defense attorney not involved with the case told WRAL this defense is not enough to argue Thompson is not guilty. Instead, it could impact a future prison sentence. Thompson is charged with killing 5 people and injuring 2 others in the 2022 shooting. He was 15 at the time. Looking ahead, a man accused of killing his girlfriend in Wake Forest is expected back in court later this month. Harrison Jose Urena Morales made his first court appearance yesterday. He's accused of shooting Josefina Tavares. Police found her with a single gunshot wound in a neighborhood near Mill Dam Road. She later died at the hospital. Morales told a judge, quote, "I was forced to do it." His next court appearance will be October 22nd. An Amtrak train crashed into a fuel truck with 260 passengers on board. This happened on the train tracks in California, closing down a section of a highway there. The driver of the fuel truck suffered minor injuries. 3 other people were also taken to the hospital with minor injuries. 1,500 gallons of fuel were spilled, and hazmat crews were deployed. The cause of that crash is under investigation. A frightening airplane collision left dozens of travelers stranded in New York. This all happened on the runway of LaGuardia Airport. A Delta CRJ 900 regional jet struck another of the same type of plane. One flight was preparing to depart for Roanoke, Virginia, when its wing slammed into the cockpit window of the other plane that had just arrived from Charlotte. 1 person was taken to the hospital. Well, the state's largest health insurer is announcing voluntary separation packages for some employees. Blue Cross North Carolina says it fell short of its 2025 financial plan. A company spokesperson says the rising cost of health care, market volatility, and other factors continue to put a strain on the entire healthcare system. Blue Cross North Carolina did not say how many employees will be impacted. Working without a paycheck, the U.S. military will not stand down during this federal shutdown. Still ahead, a North Carolina family reflects on what that means for their bottom line. And trick or treat, tariffs and inflation are driving up Halloween spending this year. 3 ways to get more for your money. That's coming up.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:43, feeling very comfortable this morning. It's a lot cooler than yesterday. 52 in Wilson, 51 in Durham, and 54 in Fayetteville. Our skies are mostly clear, so we're going to see a beautiful sunrise across the area here in a couple of hours. And the whirligigs are only moving slowly. It still might be a little breezy this afternoon, but it probably won't be quite as windy as it was yesterday. Boy, that wind was really blowing around there yesterday. Our dew point is way down at 50, so we're right in the comfy zone in that muggy meter, so it's going to feel great. If you've been kind of putting off your outdoor exercise, don't put it off this morning. It feels perfect for getting out for a walk or a run, and a gorgeous afternoon too with highs in the low 70s. Now we do have a bit of a warm up as we get into the weekend and early next week. I'll show you how high we get up to coming up.
Students and faculty at UNC are standing in solidarity with a suspended professor. Sky 5 flew over campus demonstrations yesterday in support of Dwayne Dixon. He was placed on leave by the university while it investigates claims that he advocated for political violence. The professor was a member of a now defunct far-left group called Redneck Revolt. Dixon supporters say the university is not being transparent and the accusations do not fit the person they know. Dixon was not at that rally. Well, today marks day 2 of the government shutdown. Active members of the military are considered essential workers, and that means they continue to report to work without being paid. The wife of a Marine who lives in Jacksonville, North Carolina, says the last shutdown put a big financial strain on her family.
Means a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but to me it means you're messing with mine and my husband's livelihood. More so my husband's than mine because that is his paycheck, but it still helps take care of us.
And some military offices are closed. Civilian workers who are not responsible for essential duties are furloughed. The Trump administration says it is canceling nearly $8 billion of climate funding. Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Vought made the announcement on X. He called the money green scam funding and said it fuels the left's climate agenda. All but 2 of the 16 states targeted have Democratic governors. North Carolina is not on that list. He did not specify exactly which projects are being impacted. Well, as we flip the calendar over to October, the countdown to Halloween begins. But this year, tariffs have put a terrifying effect on spending. Jen Sullivan looks at what will cost more this year.
It's October, and that means rolling out the pumpkins, ghosts, and goblins. But the most frightful thing about Halloween this year may just be the prices as shoppers feel the impact of tariffs and inflation.
Tariffs this year are on people's minds.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says they saw people start shopping in September or earlier for Halloween because they're worried items will cost more, so they're spreading out their purchases.
Many of those costs haven't yet been passed on to consumers. It is impacting certain goods differently. We may be seeing it a little bit more in non-durable goods.
President Donald Trump implemented tariffs on a variety of imported goods to encourage companies to make products in the U.S. According to the Alliance for American Manufacturing, virtually all Halloween costumes on the market are imported, which means they'll be subject to tariffs. But Cullen says tariffs have affected certain goods differently.
Less than a quarter of tariff costs have been passed on to consumers.
Candy and sweets prices are also up from a year ago, according to the latest Consumer Price Index. Shoppers are spending more on Halloween this year. The NRF says people are spending about $114 per person. That's nearly $11 more than last year.
In times of uncertainty, and we've seen this starting with the pandemic, during times of inflation and others, people are turning to these celebrations, these fun holidays where no matter what's going on in the world, you can dress up in something fun.
If those prices are giving you a scare, there are ways to save. Cullen suggests shopping at discount stores, reusing decorations, and getting crafty with costumes and decor.
And that was Jen Sullivan reporting. Well, nearly 400 hours of historic radio broadcasts are returning to North Carolina's Central University. The HBCU Radio Preservation Project finds and digitizes old recordings and returns them to the universities. Central's collection includes original programming from its jazz station, WNCU 90.7, which first went on the air in August of 1995. The station's general manager says the project will allow a new generation of people to hear recordings that shaped Black history in North Carolina.
We actually just compiled all of that information together through looking through our cabinets, file cabinets, and boxes of things that we just had and we held on to. It wasn't even transformed or converted to our archives collection here at the university yet, but we just knew that this was something that was going to be something paramount for us one day.
And Central plans to incorporate the recordings into audio production classes. Central is one of 30 HBCUs with a radio station. Well, the countdown is on for the North Carolina State Fair. It's beginning to look like fair season at the fairgrounds. Take a look at this. Some of the rides there starting to arrive. And one thing you'll notice this year, brand new restrooms. You can find these newly built facilities across from the old grist mill. And for those with young kids or for people who have special needs, great news, there are some family rooms added there as well. We are so looking forward to the State Fair. I cannot believe it is almost fair time again. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center now. Still talking about Hurricane Imelda, Elizabeth.
We are, of course. Its impact for us today, minimal. It's moving far enough away. As a matter of fact, it moved past Bermuda last night. There were definitely some gusty winds there. Certainly was likely some beach erosion, but it happened overnight, and we'll probably start to get more reports in. We could find a report of winds gusting up to around 50 miles per hour. But winds currently, at least in the center of circulation, about 85 miles per hour right now. It is moving fast, northeast at 30 miles per hour, and tropical systems typically move at, say an average of around 15 miles per hour. So it is moving out of there. You can see Category 1 and then just becomes a tropical storm as we get through the weekend and moves out to sea, not really affecting anyone except for, maybe some shipping channels. Right now, we're looking at clear skies here in downtown Raleigh, the Legislative Building, 51 degrees with a dew point of 50. So it's a very comfortable start for us this morning. Our temperatures are in the mid 40s in Roxborough, mid 50s in Fayetteville, and low 50s around the Triangle, 54 in Garner, 52 degrees in Cary, 52 right now in Holly Springs. So it feels good out there. May be happy in a jacket. Our winds are light this morning, but we'll likely have some gusts this afternoon. Not as windy as yesterday, but we'll be gusting maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour this afternoon out of the northeast. And that northeasterly wind bringing in the cool temperatures. The blue shaded area is where temperatures are below normal. Our normal highs in the upper 70s right now. So we stay nice and cool up until, say, Sunday. And then we start to see more warm air moving in. Those yellow and orange colors are where temperatures are above normal. Around town today, it feels great. Low 70s in the Triangle, mid 70s in Fayetteville. 57 is our normal low. So we have a couple of cool mornings really for the next several days. But Monday and Tuesday, we're back above normal with the lows in the 60s. And we also see a bump up in our muggy meter. That's when we're going to end up with a better chance of seeing more rain moving into the area, but it does not affect our weekend. Football Friday looks perfect with temperatures in the low 70s as the games begin, and it'll be great to get outside. So get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. And once we get into early next week, our temperatures warm up and we get back to a chance of rain. We'll check that out. And the forecast for some of our local festivals coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Oil drama strikes gold. Still ahead, your first look at the next season of Demi Moore and Billy Bob Thornton's latest hit. And happy birthday, Charlie Brown. The whole Peanuts gang turns 75 today. Still ahead, how the creator's great-grandson bringing the legacy to the digital generation. Well, this is becoming a really fun tradition. Another Fat Bear Week winner has been crowned. This year's winner of Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve's Fat Bear Week is none other than Chunk. Voters from around the world compared early and late summer photos of a dozen brown bears that were bulking up for winter hibernation. There's Chunk. Well, Frankenstein is unveiled, plus Demi Moore and Billy Bob Thornton return to the small screen. Rick Damigella has more in the Hollywood Minute.
Now, run. Frankenstein comes alive. This is a glimpse at Jacob Elordi's portrayal of the resurrected monster in Guillermo del Toro's take on the Mary Shelley novel. Oscar Isaac co-stars in the tense new film, which will have a limited theatrical release on October 17th before arriving on Netflix on November 7th.
I want success. Get it for me.
Demi Moore and Billy Bob Thornton face more oil drama. We have your first look at season 2 of the hit drama Landman. The pair of stars will continue tackling the pressures of a Texas oil boom as new episodes premiere on November 16th on Paramount+.
Right down the center, sir.
Walton Goggins is heading to video games. The actor will now portray his character from the TV series Fallout in the video game series from which the show is based. The Ghoul will be a major addition for the popular multiplayer game Fallout 76 and will be part of the upcoming Burning Springs expansion. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Good grief. The Peanuts gang are celebrating a big birthday. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the rest of the iconic characters turned 75 years old. Charles M. Schulz Peanuts comic strip began October 2nd, 1950. Happy birthday, Charlie Brown. And his family is keeping his legacy alive. His great-grandson is going viral online teaching the Snoopy stomp. This is it. This was posted on Instagram by the Charles Schulz Museum. Very interesting. All right. Will prescription drug use explain carrying out a mass shooting? That's the main defense for the teen suspect accused of killing 5 people in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood. Why the move is upsetting the family members of some of the victims. And budget crisis. Millions must be cut in Rocky Mount, and the state is stepping in. The plan to keep the city afloat. Plus, saving on laundry. It's a chore that's not going away, but 5 on Your Side is helping you get it done for less.